Good evening, this is your AI host, Jay. I'm here with the automatically generated, Journato, evening headlines on January 24, 2023. Afghan women share what their lives are really like under the Taliban. Matteo Messina Denaro, man whose identity was used by prolific mafia boss arrested in Sicily. Sky News, police arrest Sicilian whose identity was used by fugitive mafia boss. The Guardian, Matteo Messina Denaro accomplice arrested for letting mafia boss use his identity. The Mirror, Italian police arrest man whose ID helped fugitive mobster. The Independent, Matteo Messina Denaro broadened mind under Marlon Brando fridge magnet. Yevgeny Prigozhin, the hot dog seller who rose to the top of Putin's war machine. Beirut blast investigator charges key figures after long suspension. BBC, Lebanon's prosecutor defies judge investigating Beirut blast. The Independent, Lebanon judge probing Beirut blast takes aim at top justice officials. Al Monitor, former Lebanon PM Diab charged in Beirut blast investigation. Al Jazeera English, investigation into Beirut's massive 2020 port blast resumes. Cough syrup deaths, WHO urges immediate action after 300 child deaths last year. Sky News, WHO urges action after cough syrups linked to more than 300 child deaths. The Guardian, cough syrup warning after children die from acute kidney injury. Evening Standard, WHO urges immediate action after cough syrup deaths. Reuters, WHO urges action to protect children from contaminated medicines. Arson forces Paris's Gare train station to shut for day. The Guardian, cable sabotage paralyzes busy Paris rail station. France 24 English, Paris trains cancelled after cables burned in scandalous act of vandalism. Wirral Globe, all train services suspended at Paris Gare de l'Est station after signal failure. The Local France, sabotage shuts down Paris Gare de l'Est station all day. Japan PM's solution to dire birthrate has already been rejected by Young. The Guardian, Japan PM says country on the brink over falling birthrate. BBC, Japan on the brink over falling birthrate says PM, BBC News. BBC News, Japan's aging population poses urgent risk to society, says PM. The Guardian, Japanese PM urges arms boost in gravest situation since Second World War. Finland calls for timeout in heated NATO talks with Turkey. BBC, Finland's FM hints at joining NATO without Sweden. DW, English, Finland must consider joining NATO without Sweden, says Minister. Euronews, Finland may need to join NATO without Sweden, Foreign Minister says. Politico Europe, NATO, Finland considers membership bid without Sweden, France 24 English. Monterey Park mass shooting, live, Huu Can Tran stockpiled hundreds of rounds of ammo amid poison, paranoia. The Independent, Chinese New Year shooting, what we know about California attack gunman Huu Can Tran. Sky News, another mass shooting in California, the American curse continues. Zelenskiy ramps up anti-corruption drive as 15 Ukrainian officials exit. The Guardian, top Ukrainian officials quit in anti-corruption drive. BBC, Ukraine officials resign as Volodymyr Zelenskiy moves to ease corruption concerns. Financial Times, Factbox, who are the officials swept out in Ukraine's biggest shakeup of the war. Reuters, Ukraine's deputy defense minister resigns amid corruption inquiry. Doomsday Clock moves 10 seconds closer to midnight as Ukraine war rages. Sky News, what is the Doomsday Clock and what is the time change announcement coming today? Manchester Evening News, Doomsday Clock, the world is closer to oblivion than ever before, scientists say as they change time. The Independent, opinion, the Doomsday Clock is ticking, clock's hands move closest ever to midnight and catastrophe. CNN, US Doomsday Clock apocalypse closer Ukraine war. Half Moon Bay mass shooting, disgruntled, mushroom farm worker, 67, arrested for killing 7 in California. The Independent, Half Moon Bay, 7 dead in another California mass shooting. BBC, California mass shooting suspect who left 7 dead in rampage is disgruntled worker. Express, California rocked by third mass shooting in 3 days as 1 killed and 7 injured in Oakland. Ukraine war, Poland asked Germany for permission to export tanks. BBC, Russia-Ukraine war live. Poland to ask EU for compensation for supplying tanks. Multiple Ukraine officials resign amid corruption claims. The Guardian, Germany continues to resist sending battle tanks to Ukraine. BBC News. BBC News, Berlin must not delay support for Kyiv. The Telegraph, EU slaps new sanctions on Iran, mulls more against Russia. This was all for the news. Thanks for listening. Please do not forget to like and subscribe.